Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Well, technically, you, Your Honor.
So here's what I'll do. I'll pass it. Go talk to.
This ridiculous defendant went up against Judge Simpson in court, and for a minute, everything was actually going fine. That is, until this guy opened his mouth and accused Judge Simpson of threatening him. Last I checked, explaining the consequences of your actions isn't a threat, it's just how court works. Trust me though, things take a wild turn after this, with a crazy twist. Let's get into it and watch Judge Simpson completely shut this guy down for trying to mess with him.
Mr. Hampton has entered into an agreement with the people, and I'd like to enter that into the record. Your Honor, is it possible to enter into both today, to address both cases today on the record?
That file is not in the courtroom.
Oh, okay, got it.
But I can give you the bill deed that you faster.
Oh, sorry.
But I don't believe it's.
What? Okay.
Talking about bond.
All right, we'll just address this case today.
He's going to enter a plea in another case that's set for prelim.
Yes, yeah. So case 24F55262, just because of the timing with the mental health treatment court evaluation, that one was set for preliminary examination before the evaluation was complete. And that is currently set for exam.
So over there is Ann, right?
Yes.
You know Ann?
Yes.
Okay. So if you had this, that may work out where we could like get rid of two cases and he could plead. I may or may not do it, but usually just go over and ask Ann. Because you asked me on the record, I'll probably say no, because I don't do the filing, so I don't know where it is.
Understood. Yes. So I will.
So would you like to do that today?
I would like to.
So here's what I'll do. I'll pass it. Go talk to Ann.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, sorry. Ashley Bashir on behalf of Mr. Hampton. And in addition to addressing the case directly, we would like to address bond and request that a condition, specifically the home confinement tether, be reconsidered.
Okay, I'll get to that maybe at some point.
So thank you. Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to get these pleas done.
Thank you.
So my understanding is he's going to plead to count in case ending in 1596. He's going to plead to count 2.
Yes.
Correct? With count 1 being dismissed. That's going to be a guilty plea. Correct, counsel?
Yes.
All right. Then on the other matter, I have a plea form that indicates that the defendant will be pleading guilty to an added count 2 of attempted resisting and obstructing the 1-year offense. Upon a successful plea to that charge, count 1, the resisting and obstructing, would be dismissed. And there is an agreement that the defendant is to go to mental health court. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement.
That's right.
May I have the defendant's sworn?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
State your name.
Brandon Hampton.
All right.
And man, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. The first one, in the case ending in 1596, is the charge of aggravated assault. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You also understand in that case that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Barr in the 14A2 District Court. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And understanding that on that case, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right. On the other case, it says court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You understand also that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Valvo in the 15th District Court. You understand that?
Why are the judges different, Your Honor?
Why are the judges different? Because these allegedly occurred in two separate places. The case that we're just talking about with Judge Valvo, the offense took place in the city of Ann Arbor. And the other case happened in maybe the city of Ypsilanti in Ypsi City of Ypsilanti. I'm sorry, Ann Arbor Township. Okay. So they occurred in two separate jurisdictions. Okay. That's why you have two separate judges. But what's going to happen, I think this is probably really the crux of your question. You're going to go to mental health court on these, right?
Yeah.
So Judge Valvo is actually in charge of mental health court. So when that case goes over to her, that will be where it is. You'll have to go before Judge Barr. Judge Barr will do the initial part of the sentencing and then place you on probation to be supervised by the mental health court. Follow that? So it's just a little bit of a process. Both cases, it's anticipated, are going to end up in the same spot.
Okay.
Okay. You got that? Any other questions on that?
I guess it's not like possible for the other case just to go to Valvo as well.
It will get there. It just can't go directly that way.
Okay.
Okay.
For sure.
Anything else? Trust me, we do this all the time. It'll get there. So it'll catch right up to it. Okay. All right. Any other questions you have?
Just the one about bond, but
yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. All right. So understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty to these charges?
yeah.
Okay. So to the charge of aggravated assault, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
All right. You see a copy on the podium. Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yes.
All right. Were you on probation at the time of these offenses?
No.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No.
All right. Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
Kind of.
Okay, what do you mean, kinda?
I don't want to go to jail again, Your Honor.
Okay, but did somebody threaten you to plead?
Yeah, with jail time, Your Honor.
Okay, but who did that?
Well, technically, you, Your Honor.
He was doing fine until he said that. When he claimed they weren't lying about him needing mental help, I honestly couldn't even follow his reasoning. I can't tell if he's mocking Judge Simpson or if he genuinely believes the judge is threatening him with jail time. Like, buddy, that's literally how the legal system works. Judges can and will send you to jail if you don't follow court orders. It's not a threat, it's just the natural consequence of your actions. And the way he said it, he me to have just, ruined his own plea deal. Acting like the judge is threatening him could make any future negotiations way harder. Now he's playing the victim, even though he literally pled guilty. Why is he backtracking now? It's way too late for that. What do you guys think? Is he just running his mouth? Or does he actually believe all this nonsense? Let's dive back in and see how Judge Simpson reacts.
Oh,
Mr. Hampton, so
tell you what. why don't we pass the matter? Maybe you can talk to him and we'll give this another shot today if we're comfortable with it. Otherwise, the court may not be comfortable with it, and we might just blow all of this up and it'll just have to happen another way.
Thank you.
But I'll give you a chance to talk.
Judge Simpson handled that so calmly, almost like he's talking to a kid, super patient and clear. But now, let's see what happens next in the hearing. Will this guy finally wake up and get how the law works? Or is he going to double down on his nonsense? If he does, oh man, we might get to see a live demonstration of how to make your life even harder in court. What do you guys think? Let's jump back in and see what happens.
We're back on the record in the case of the people versus Hampton. We're in the middle of taking a plea. And so I stated the terms on the record. And Mr. Hampton, I'm going to ask you a couple questions again.
Okay.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to these charges?
No,
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you in any way to get you to plead?
no,
You're doing this voluntarily,
yes,
of your own free will,
yes,
and because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses?
yes.
All right. We'll start with case 1596. Paperwork. So, okay, Mr. Hampton, on the date of August 29, 2024, at Washtenaw Community College in Ann Arbor Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, do you recall what happened on that date regarding a Vladimir, is it Parahorov?
I don't know, Your Honor.
All right. Did you get into a fight with somebody?
Oh, I know what happened. I don't know what his name is. It sounded like.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what happened then?
Oh, I was trying to take a shower, Your Honor.
Okay. And then what occurred?
When I was in the locker room, he had pushed me up against the wall, hit me in my head, and threw me on the ground. And then broke in my property.
Okay, but before that, did you do anything before that?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't until there were 4 people on top of me and I was fearing for my life that I bit him, Your Honor.
Okay. So here's what
I seriously don't get why this guy even took the plea if he didn't want it in the first place. He literally had an easier way out and just threw it away. Now, instead of getting a lighter sentence, he's looking at months of extra jail time. For what? Just to argue with the judge. Okay, he wasn't outright arguing, but he was definitely talking back and getting a bit smug. I get that mental health can be an issue, but the dude has a lawyer. Someone literally told him what to do, and he completely ignored it. I just don't get it sometimes. On the flip side, though, I really like how Judge Simpson handled it. He did way better than most judges would have. Some would have snapped and sent him to jail right away, but Judge Simpson actually tried to help. He explained everything, gave him chances to pull it together.
because I can see the way that this plea's going. It's not going to work. So if you guys want to change, I'm not suggesting you guys want to change things to a no contest. If you want to do whatever, what I will do is I'm back up at 1. I'll call it back up at 1. I think everybody's still going to be here. So, and give you a chance to talk with him, decide whether or not you want to do no contest, please explain what a no contest, go through all of that with him, and then see if we can get this done.
Thank you very, very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a prime example for me of no good deed goes unpunished. All right, so we'll call it back up at that point. Quarter past these matters again. All right.
We actually, based on the most recent conversation with my client, I will actually seek to adjourn this case for to further advise my client on the offer.
All right.
For the shortest adjournment possible.
February 13th. Both matters.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Canceling witnesses.
Both matters not on to come on. Well, that's true. What are we doing with, well, when is the exam set?
Tuesday, the 28th.
Yes, so apologies. We can see, I'd be happy to stip to adjourn that, the exam or for the other case.
Well, you're gonna need a step on the exam.
Yes.
Because I only took it because there was gonna be a plea. When do you want the other one adjourned to?
When is the soonest?
I'll set this, I'll adjourn the
After the
1596. I'll adjourn 1596 to February 6th. The other one is stay on track for a preliminary examination. I understand that people are not going to have the witnesses available, or you need a stipulation to adjourn that out. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But nope, this guy just kept digging his own grave. At some point, you can't help someone who's determined to do their own thing. The judge can only do so much. And this guy wasn't having it anyway. I'll wrap it up here. What do you think, was Judge Simpson fair, or could he have handled it differently? And if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I post every day, so stay tuned for more wild cases like this one. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.